Here it goes.
Oh,
You started
it
record.
looks like it's going.
So give it our
You
date.
did it.
All
Good
right.
job.
Let us announce again that we're going to be talking the rest of this call about the power of events. And let's start with the granddaddy of them all, the National Convention, which is scheduled less than a month, July 17th through 19th, in Anaheim, California, home of Disneyland. Let me tell you that Claudia and I have been to National Convention, and it's a great thing. I listened to a leadership call today, and if you've listened to any of the calls lately that we have, Jan Paxman's Go-Getter call or the leadership call of Dr. A's or others, you probably have heard quite a bit about National Convention and the power of events. But in listening to the leadership call today, I wrote down a few notes for people who will actually be presenting at National Convention, and I thought that I might just report some of those things. Did you happen? Whoops, am I gone? Oh, here we are.
Okay.
You're there.
Something new happened on our screen, and so I wondered, whoa, there is an upside down someone.
Becky's upside down.
Welcome. You look fabulous upside down. Welcome to our talking. You're joining a group that is Emily, someone very close to you, Denise, David, and Claudia. And I'm just talking about a leadership call that I listened to today. Dr. A was not the one speaking as he usually is, but it was Whitney. What's Whitney's last name?
Kell.
Whitney Kell, yes. And she's a presidential director and often speaks at meetings like National Convention coming up. She had with her on the call 4 people, likewise presidential directors with the company, who are going to be speaking at National Convention. And it was very encouraging to hear some of the things that they said. One of the names was J.C. Dornick. Don't know if you've heard of him, but he has been a favorite of mine at a few things that I've attended. He said a couple of things that by the time a national convention or other event is over, you really feel different. There's a certain sense of being calm on the one hand, and a real tangible feeling of excitement and energy for moving forward with your Take Shape for Life business. And so that is a marvelous thing. He said it's very natural for us to be afraid or at least, or call it shy or lack of confidence or whatever you may want to diagnose it as being. But you learn how to deal with that and move forward anyway, whether it be making a phone call or attending a convention or moving forward in whatever ways. So it was kind of fun to hear him say that he even sometimes, after so many years, recognizes that he needs to just move forward and keep on keeping on. There was a woman next, Lisa Castro. She's another presidential director who often speaks at these big events. She described how wonderful it is to learn with like-minded individuals, and I can say that that's something I have loved at the events that Claudia and I have attended. That there's just something encouraging and supportive about being with people who are engaged in the same cause. Hello, Randy. Welcome.
I was on the wrong.
Can you hear us?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we do. Wonderful.
I'm just curious, is that number that you put on my email, my Outlook, is that not the same every time or something? Because that's what it shows up on my Outlook, is that number you put on. Oops.
I don't know, Randy, if it's the same number or not. Today's 506-159-476.
Right. Well, that was in the email, but on the Outlook, you've got a standard number for all of them.
And it's a different one, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'll just send an email each time, and I think it's a different one every time.
Oh, okay.
Different.
Good question, though. I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, nice to learn. We're all learning about these Zooms calls, but And Randy, just to bring you up a little bit, we're talking about the power of attending events and talking specifically about National Convention, which is coming up July 17th through 19th. And I'm saying that I listened to a leadership call today and listened to some of the presidential directors who were going to be presenting at National Convention. And Lisa Castro is where I was just starting to talk when you joined us. Again, welcome. She said the power of being with like-minded people is very, very fun. In our daily jobs and walk and talk, we're not necessarily surrounded by as many like-minded people as we may wish that we were. But in a place like National Convention, the place is booming with all sorts of crazy people just like us. And it's somehow very encouraging and really fun and legitimizes the whole activity. And what is more powerful, indeed, than bringing health and wellness to more people throughout the country? That's part of our privilege and mission, shall we say. Another thing Lisa said was, oh dear, I was scribbling on my piece of paper while I was driving, and I was not watching my piece of paper for obvious reasons. So let's see. Oh, here, this is something that she said, and I do love this part because I've thought the same thing. She said many people, when they go to conventions for their work, they really spend more time figuring out how they can skip the meetings and do something else, go golfing or playing or anything to get away from attending the meetings. And Take Shape for Life is refreshingly not that way. We can say that when before a certain session starts, they keep the doors closed, and then the huge surrounding, the staging area where people line up is just packed with people waiting to be let in, like it's some big Black Friday or something where there are all sorts of deals to be had. But it says a lot about the people who attend and how they're just dying to learn more, like you people. It's really fun. I'm so happy that you are gathered here and we share what we know with one another. And National Convention is another place where you learn bucket loads of stuff. And it may be information to help you build your business, information about bringing new coaches and clients. There's just a wide range of topics that are offered for those 2 or 3 days. And something, too, that Lisa said, she's been in Take Shape for Life for years and years. This is the 11th National Convention that she has attended. So she's been one of the early adapters of being a coach at Take Shape for Life. And she's great. If you ever wonder if Lisa Castro's classes were good, they are very, very good. She and her husband are in it together. His name is Jaime. He's Hispanic. And she calls him Jamie, which I think is pretty clever that she mispronounces her husband's name, but I guess they don't care enough about that. But through the years, as she has talked with coaches and clients who wonder if they should attend the National Convention, hello, Sheila. She has told them something that many people, including Claudia and I, have said, that if you go and you think that it was a waste of time, you'll get your money back. And she said in all the years that she and Jaime have been offering that, nobody has taken them up on that offer because they've gotten much more even than what they anticipated getting. So a plug from Lisa Castro. The next presidential director that talked tonight was a woman named Tia Wood, and she's fabulous. She and her husband Doug are in the business together. And she's very strong about the relationships that you build in the business, and even not necessarily business related. She's known for just inviting neighbors and friends and being outgoing and warm and connecting with all sorts of people. Of course, it translates well to their business too, but she and Doug invite bucket loads of people over to their home just to enjoy the spirit of their home. And it translates to wonderful things for them. So she's going to be teaching a lot about building relationships and the power of that in building our Take Shape for Life business. She said the magic is very definitely in the people. And also, here's something that she said, that as we go to national convention, you know, the first time you may be brand new, and so you don't bring anyone with you. You're pleased you're there yourself. Maybe you have a spouse or friend with you, but you may not be to the point of thinking about other people, your coaches and clients and so forth. But she said, for instance, that the first year, and they haven't been in the business as long as Lisa Castro, but they've been in, I guess, coming upon 4 years, because this will be their 4th time attending national convention. The first time, it was just her and her husband, Doug. This year, they have 175 people that are from their team that are joining them. She said,
Wow.
we have to stop thinking about only ourselves. We need to think of the power that national convention will have on our clients and coaches. So, sweet thought, I thought. Anyway, that's enough blurb from the leadership call today. I asked a couple of you here if you would share your own experience with participating in events. And those two magic people are Randy and Sheila. I also asked Nick, but I don't think that he's one of these people that are without faces.
I'm here.
You are there. Oh, jolly well. Okay, good.
Yep. I'm
Glad
just
you
on the
joined
phone.
us. How about if we start with Randy, Nick, and then Sheila? Shall we do that? Just, 2 or 3 minutes telling us about your experience with events.
Okay, you asked me to talk about the power of these events.
Right.
And I've seen actual miracles happen. I've known my husband an awfully long time, but I haven't seen anything affect him like this has affected him, because he absolutely was so annoyed with me when I first signed up with this, and for the first 2 months until he could actually see the success I was having. And one day when I decided I was going to be a coach, and we asked, Claudia and David were going to come over and show us a little bit about it. And he said, do not get me to come down there. Absolutely. I'm not coming down. You could tell me a little bit about it later, because he said maybe he would sign up. I mean, he would start trying the program,
Mm-hmm.
but he didn't want to have anything to do with this coach thing at all. Well, you guys came over, and he was like, next thing you know, he is down the stairs in the living room listening to the whole thing. And I was working graveyard at Delta, and I couldn't go to any meetings, but they were telling us about Kim Fisk going to be in Salt Lake, and this was a big deal. Hey, I am not a meeting person. I am not a convention person, and definitely Rick is not. And I said, there's no way I can go because of my job. And Rick goes, I'll go. I almost fell off the couch. And
he paid that night, didn't he? It was crazy.
It's like, are you kidding? You're going to go to this meeting, and you're going to go by yourself to a Take Shape for Life meeting. Right. Anyway, he came back a different person. And next thing you know, we found out about the national convention. We're going to go. I'm like, we're what? That is a fortune. And he could, it's like, who are you? And what have you done with my husband? Anyway, he was so excited. And I tell you, we went to the national convention, and it was totally different. You've got to understand, I've spent years going to Photoshop conventions and things like that. And so I was not expecting it to be fun or anything. It was one constant 5 days of adrenaline. It was like I was texting my kids all the time going, you can't believe this, you can't believe what's going on, and I got to tell you this. And they're going, who are you, and what have you done with our mother? But it is just, and every time, and I've never been one, like with Nick will tell you, that I have always been one that wanted to do everything myself. I don't want coach calls. I don't want anything. Well, little by little, it is like I need the coach calls because after that first year, it isn't like, you start deviating a little bit. And so I think the other thing besides events like Kim Fisk, and, when people have these events, and when I go to Claudia's, there has never been a time when I've been to an event like a coach call, like these coach calls, that I haven't learned something. And so, it is the synergistic effect of us learning from each other. And we're all busy, like Heidi said last night or the other night, we're all busy people, but if you want your business to grow, if you want to stay on task, if you want to be an influence for good to people around you, it is magic. It is really something else to be able. If it wasn't for my mother's 50th wedding anniversary in Seattle, we would be going to this one too, but it just isn't going to happen this year.
Well, how wonderful. Thank you, Randy. Great, great, great things that you said there. Nick, shall we come over to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just thought I didn't look at any of my notes or anything that I took, but the national, you still there?
Yes.
Okay. But the convention was just awesome. It was great to hear everybody's to see just how big the company is and how many great people are helping to influence the company and helping to grow the company and be associated with all the different lots of different coaches, get to know them and their enthusiasm for helping people to change their lives and improve their health. And so like David was saying, there's all kinds of awesome, inspiring, and educational opportunities to listen to different people. And so the training there that you get is I would say you can't get it by just watching a video on or a training on the computer. So it's something that you have to be there to see and to really to feel the synergy of the company and all that's going on.
Great, well said. It really is amazing what you say about seeing the breadth of the organization and Dr. Anderson's vision and others. It's a big deal. Sheila, what would you like us to hear?
Oh, well, I had become a coach, it's been 2 years ago, and I really didn't have any clients for the first couple months, and then I had one or two. And then I got an email from Claudia that said there's going to be this super regional event, and it's going to be the last one they ever have of its kind in San Francisco. Move heaven and earth to get there. I didn't have the money to do it. I put it, I went into debt to do it. But it was a business expense. I started thinking of what it cost to get my husband's business going. His dental business. I mean, we went into 8 years of school and buying a dental practice. Yeah. So it was hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I'm thinking I'm going to borrow $1,000 and I'm going to do this. So I did. And I made it all back anyway. So I wasn't even a senior coach. So I'm just looking right now at my, in your back office, you can look up your monthly performance comparison. And so I'm just pulling back because I thought I've got to make sure I'm telling the truth of what really happened. And so I went from like having a $200 or $300 frontline volume up to $800. The next month it went to $1,400, then to $3,200 after I'd been to San Francisco, $3,200, then to $4,500. I mean, it just each month went bing, 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 because I caught the vision by being there, meeting Dr. Anderson, going to these meetings, feeling the synergy. Events have been the number one thing that have changed my business. So.
Wow, sweet.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Thank you for sharing, all three of you. I'm realizing that we're running out of time, aren't we? What shall we say more about
Oh.
People can still register for National Convention. If you are wondering, you can apply and pay all the way up till the day before, probably. There's also, if you don't know, live certification. They call it COPE certification.
Maybe you should clarify that when you first become a coach, there's a 30-day thing that, Emily, that you just did. It's called basic competency.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just do that at 30 days. And then there's another thing called certification, which costs money, but it costs like $200 to do it online. But I was looking at this little thing here that tells about the compensation. And what you get when you pass your certification is a 3% bonus on all your whatever you earn. And so
forever 3%, forever, not just the next month.
Right.
You get it then on. Yeah.
So it does cost money, but so it's something that if you're going to coach for a while, you sure ought to have. It's really great. So yeah, you can do it online for $200, or if you go to a convention. This was fun, wasn't it, Randy?
This is only the second year that they've offered the live certification. And if you see on Facebook or wherever the word COPE, C-O-P-E, it stands for Center for Obesity Prevention and Education. Claudia and I looked it up. It's from the Villanova School of Nursing. But we did it last year, didn't we, Randy?
That was so amazing.
Nick, you did it too, didn't you?
Yeah. It was very fun. Dr. Anderson did some of the teaching, and then other presidentials and others taught and took questions, but it was great.
Yeah.
And by the end of the day, we were certified. It was wonderful. Just loved it.
A national convention, it just costs $175. It's cheaper
for one person. If you go with, that's good enough.
David,
yes.
I missed when it is and where it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you. It is in Anaheim, California. And
what are the dates?
It's at the Anaheim Convention Center. No, July 17th.
Yeah, let me look here. Yeah, it's 17, 18, 19.
And we can share more information about how to find out even what the classes are. Do they have that up? And so you can look at that. So let us know if you want us to share that information or talk with you again. Just give us a call or a text or something.
Becky, you and Emily ought to come. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
Do they have activities at night?
Let's
see. What do they do at night?
On Saturday night, there's a dinner, a really nice dinner. Most people get dressed up for it, and you hear from people who have had great success since the last convention. And
do you pay for that, or is that included in that?
It's included.
There's some. Now that it's the cost for convention. I don't know what it is. Anybody know that right off the bat?
$75.
We signed up a long time ago.
That's for the certification, so that's different.
The certification is on top of the
Let me look it up. I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah, in fact, we signed up for this convention, I think, within a month of finishing last year's convention. So we were so taken with the convention that we wanted to make sure that we were committed to it.
Well, did you get a discount by signing up so early?
Nope.
No, we didn't. We didn't.
So do you stay in a hotel there?
Yeah, the place, the Marriott Hotel, right? The Marriott Anaheim is the place where most people are staying, but it was filled up. And so Claudia and I are staying at another option that they found, and it's the Hilton, right?
Yeah.
In Anaheim as well.
I tell them I reserved the second room.
Yeah, we did. She did reserve a second room that we are only going to use one. We just figured we'd do one just in case some of you wanted to come.
We knew you would want to come.
Yeah. And then you wouldn't have to struggle to find a place to stay.
Is it always in the same place, or does it move around?
It moves around. Yeah, the first, it has been in places like Orlando and Dallas and Nashville last year,
Is what Washington D.C.
Fun.
Washington, D.C.
Wow.
So,
Do you know where it's going to be next year?
no, but they'll undoubtedly announce it in July.
Well, maybe it will be here. Then we would have to pay for plane tickets.
Would that be fun?
Yeah. Well, and it's nice. One of the people who spoke today on the leadership call was saying that it's great to have it in the West because it's not usually in the West.
Oh,
I guess there was a time where it was up in Portland in the early days, but we got the idea that it's not usually out here.
$325.
$325, Claudia's saying, to attend the national convention.
And you'll need write-offs because you're going to start making money.
all
Mhm.
right.
To help you with your taxes, because those are very much business-related expenses.
Okay.
And do you have anything else?
I think that's that's on our agenda. We're all done.
I wonder if
So, I have one more question. Are any of the other coaches going?
what about Julie? Sheila?
Sheila.
She's trying to work it out.
Good. We want her.
We have a friend, Julie Anderson, one of our coach family here, that might go.
We have a little problem, Becky, and that is we have many members of the Tabernacle Choir that are in this. We've got a lot of coaches that are choir members, and they have a big concert, the Pioneer Day concert. Is that weekend?
Oh,
So
And it is a dilemma, but
anyway, so oops, did we lose ya? Let's see, where is it hiding? There it is. So Nick, are you still on?
I think no.
Nick might have gotten off, but
And we lost Denise as well.
Questions?
Any other questions that we can answer?
Questions? What are your plans? Do you have? Is everybody doing okay? Becky, are you? I know you're doing family reunion. We'll talk next week.
yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we've got that coming up the week
This is kind
before.
of fun. This has been very interesting. I've never done this. Very interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty clever, isn't it?
It is. I'm just wondering how come you're upside down. Let me see if this is what it is.
No, it's
Oh
not-
yes, your camera's upside down, girl.
I don't know how to change it. Do you?
I just did my camera upside down, and that's how come you're upside down.
Just go out. Just go outside and ask one of your 10-year-old neighbors to come over. That's what we do.
All right. That's a good deal.
Claudia, I have a question.
Yes.
Now I'm going to start training Karen on Friday as a health coach, and I want to train myself as well.
Great.
I've been kind of a slacker, and so I would like to. Is it on that website that you were telling me about, where you've got the lines on a page or something? Where did you get that one? You had was it somebody on Coaches?
Like 30 days of something.
I can't remember. Were you talking about it, Sheila? Didn't you do lines on a paper or something, or who was it? That there was
Sheila
on
talked
one of
about
those websites. I can't remember the website. One where you have a whole bunch of coaches stuff that you can go in and look at videos and training things. And gosh, I can't think about one.
I think you're talking about webinar, Team Global Webinars.
Yes,
Oh, that's it.
that's it. That's it. And is that where you find that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find that. Let's see. We can, and I can give you some stuff. Okay, Randy.
Okay.
I'll send some stuff to your
Coach.Powerlosers would be.
That's it. Okay, I'll try that one too.
Coach.Powerlosers is the one that comes down from Kim Fisk.
Yeah. Great. That's awesome, Randy. That's really awesome. We're working on something too, a more methodical way of welcoming coaches and training coaches. Kind of a module type of do 1, do 2, do 3, just short like maybe half hour amount of time spent on each. And then you just give them the next one when they're ready for the next one. Okay.
Because there's so much to learn, isn't it? It can be a daunting thing.
Don't want to overwhelm anyone.
Oh, Claudia said it was easy.
Absolutely. That's what I meant.
If it was Dr. A talking, he'd say, eat the food and talk to people. That's it.
And that's what it boils down to. But
Okay.
yes, as you go, it's nice to polish your craft a little bit. But yes.
So, I have to apologize that I was late, but I was getting another new client. This is 2 this week.
Woo!
Jolly
Good job.
good. That is wonderful.
Hey, and did you know, we need to introduce Becky because you guys came on a little late, but she is a brand new spanking coach.
I
And-
knew, don't let her spank you too hard.
Hey, well, guess what? Her daughter is one of the telephoners you can't see, and she is the mentor coach for Becky. So,
Yes.
Emily, are you ready to do it together?
Am I ready for what?
To train your mom.
and to be trained.
Right.
The training never stops. We certainly learn things every day.
Yeah, she's probably better than me. So
You're my
she'll
What
train
else are
me.
you going to say about your mom? Of course, that's true.
Yeah, she'll spank you. Hey, Becky, do you want to introduce yourself to us? Tell us a couple things about yourself before we get off.
Well, Claudia tried to talk me into this for 2 years. I finally agreed to do it, and then before I know it, she's talking me into being a coach. And I said,
It was a good deal.
for another year, and she goes, "That's okay, just sign up." So we'll see how fast I move.
Yes, she has her own great story for being on the program. You looked wonderful when we started
Thank
it.
you.
Well, I think we're about to be cut off. We've already been warned that our free session is about up. So let's do this again next Wednesday, huh?
Yep, this is great, everybody. Thanks for being on. You're great. And Randy, I'll talk to you about training. Okay?
Okay, awesome.
All right. This
Thanks.
is great. See you later.
Good night.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, good stuff.